So, hello, it's Gary again. It's the second dose of me today. I hope you can put up with me for just another hour, well, almost an hour anyway. And I'm joined by Helena Summer. So, Helena, hello.
Hello, Gary. This is also my second. I'm
Ah, right.
Kelly.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're going to brighten up our day for us, aren't you, in that respect?
Mm.
And, well, apparently, as far as I can read on your bio, it seems like you are living deliciously. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
You are that person. And I think we're going to go, well, obviously into the area of relationships here, because that's what you're very much into, aren't you? And you talk about authentic relationships, don't you? And the energy of relationships as well. So, what do you mean by authentic?
Mm. I'm so glad, Gary, that we are talking about it because you are also in the field. So
Yeah,
we can
yeah. It's a recent thing for me,
elaborate.
but I suppose we've all of us been involved in relationships, haven't we?
That's right.
Yeah,
Even if we don't have any romantic relationships, it's always
yeah, yeah. And with ourselves as well.
to answer your question, authentic relationships, I actually call them organic. It's like a food. You can eat the food that is, you know, processed McDonald's, chips, whatever, and it will really make you full. But you will feel emotionally malnourished I mean, physically malnourished. And so the same thing about relationships. There is, I'm single, you single, let's get together. Meeting somebody from the place of pain, from the place of uh, convenience and comfort because I want babies, you got money, let's do it, or from the place of spiritual growth and understanding. And so, what I call organic relationships is long term benefit. Like, you know, that maybe that green smoothie may not be the most delicious thing in the world, but you know it will fulfill you, it will nurture you, it will even heal or
Yeah.
subside some of the elements that your body may be going through.
And keep you going most of the day, won't it, in some ways?
Yes. And if you start your day with a good, healthy, organic meal, you are most likely that your next meal will also be good and your last meal. But if you skip your breakfast, then you have a to-go McDonald's, then your dinner will be just chips and, you know.
Yeah. And does that apply in a way that if we've had an unhealthy, but I'd say an unhealthy upbringing, and we've witnessed relationships maybe that not so good, not so healthy. Does that mean then, as we get older, we tend to grab at that kind of relationship and think that that's kind of normal, if you like?
People say yes.
Mm,
However, I didn't have a good role model, so I became a nun to avoid dealing with men.
right.
My twin sister, she went ahead and went with million men. So I punished men by saying, look what you can't have. And she
Right.
punished men by being with them and leaving them,
Mm,
right? But as we grow, like you know, these little energy techniques that are so innocent looking are so powerful. With our pure desire, honest desire to really learn, to grow, we can literally break the pattern, generational pattern that was happening in our families and create a healthy, meaningful, substantial, powerful, classy relationship.
and it's very important, isn't it? Because our children that follow, we want to give them the best idea about what a relationship could be
Mm-hmm.
and how successful that can be.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a challenge, though, isn't it? And especially with the pressures that we've got today.
Yes, yes, on so many levels. And even our own internal fantasy is so huge. It's amazing how my grandmother, she just died last year at the age of 94.
Right.
Vital, strong, beautiful woman. And she was actually the crucial element in my relationship teachings because she would tell me how things were way back when and how things are now and how today we believe that we don't have to get along, Because if we don't, next. In their
Yeah,
time,
yeah. Fast food. That's
the
fast.
fast food, yeah.
Mm,
Okay, McDonald's not working pizza.
yeah.
Something is delicious, but it's not nutritious. Doesn't matter. So my grandma said we have to learn how to make it work. You have to. And then the difference from the past was often, I asked, was he your soulmate? And she said, we didn't think about these things.
No.
Because you have to work on the land, you have to. So people used to often get married for the practical reasons. Let's have kids, whatever. But in modern world, we want to be practical. We want to fall in love. We want this partner to be my best friend. And we want only to have sex with this one partner. And we want all these things for the rest of my life.
And of course, women and men are different, aren't they, in what they, I suppose, what they require from a relationship.
Yes. In different stages, right? If you are now, are you single? Married?
No.
So you're married?
Yeah.
So if you would now be single, you would be looking for different things than you were looking when you married your wife, right?
Yeah.
Because of the maturity you have, because of the experiences in life, and it depends where you would be in other elements. So it's such an exciting, dynamic field of, I always say, dating is the best personal development path. Because you have to get to know yourself. People respond to you right away. And you know, okay, I'm being weird. If I have all the weirdness going on, I cannot just blame entire population. So we are learning. It's amazing. I love men. You guys, you want to protect us. You want to take care of us. You want us to be happy. But we focus on one little thing that you did wrong 7 years ago. And I'm going to drill you about it.
Without even writing it down, so.
That's right.
But I mean, relationships can be tricky, can't they? And maybe, I think as you begin to understand, like you do, about relationships, you realize that there is actually a need for that challenge, isn't there? And like you were talking about growing in a way, weren't you? Mm-hmm. So without that challenge, I mean, it would be easy, like you were saying, to become a nun or a monk and disappear. I mean, how are you challenged in that way? Because you're not having that very personal relationship, are you?
Yes, it's very different. I remember when regular people would ask us, nuns, how to deal with some problem in their personal partner, husband or wife. And I remember how all of these nuns, they had the answer. That has zero to do with practicality of their circumstances. A lot to do with the prayer and the hope and fluffy stuff that would not be very practically helpful or useful. But once you get into that relationship and you see, okay, we keep disagreeing about this, or we keep bumping heads about that, or this annoys me about him, or I don't have any more sexual attraction. You ask a nun what to do and she will tell you to pray.
Mind you, I think we often do pray when we are in a relationship, but that's another story, isn't it?
That's right. You are funny. I love how you have like a cool background. You're so grounded, and then you have these funny things coming.
I don't know where they come from. But yeah, so like I say, it is a challenge. And maybe people, our partner, whether that be female partner or male male or female or whatever, I think they tend to be our mirror, don't they, in a way of the things that maybe we need to transform within ourselves.
And often it's also our perception, because I see that it's really good that you brought male, female. In every relationship requires one person that leads with yin and one person that leads with yang. And we often believe that, okay, I'm going to be yang because I'm a man. And I'm going to be yin because I'm a female. but in the way we talk, we cause energetic disbalance of yin and yang that is causing closing off or lack of intimacy and attraction, because we are not really inspiring our partner to their greatness, because we want to have equality. It's like equal flies over each other. But what we really need is complementarity, that we can hook with instead of goodbye, we just like, oops, this is when we find each other.
Yeah.
And communication, I always tell my clients, female clients, I will teach you how to speak feminese.
So I believe, though, that maybe some women might be concerned, say, as to what you mean by that, in that, there has been very much a drive, hasn't it, for women to now become equal to men, if you like, and maybe we've lost something on the way there. I mean, men they don't know whether they should open a door for a woman or not open a door for a woman, or there's all these challenges now for men which they didn't have many years ago. And so things have very much changed, haven't they, in that respect? So, how do you find your way out of that maze of those issues and things?
Great question. Be the change you want to see for your little life. So we need to first know which part of me wants to be in love. We are all yin and yang. We are all androgynous within us. There is this masculine side of us and there is feminine in everyone. But when it comes to dating, do I want to be in my relationship a pilot or a co-pilot? We are going together to the same destination. We will get everything the same. So what do I want first? It's like a walking. Do you walk with your left foot first or right? Both your feet get to the same point, but which one you want first? If you want both, you are my client, because there is no place for the other person. And if you say, okay, I'm more happy, let's say for women, 75% of female genders are happier if they are in a yin feminine role. They are literally happier, more joyful, more creative, more safe, more excitement, the glow, the radiance of the woman happens when they have a partner who is on the masculine side. Don't worry, honey, I got it. Those words are so sexy.
Yeah.
Women who are willing to be on a feminine side. And there are about 75% of them. Harvard did a study on that. And David Bass talks in a book. Oops, I slipped the name of the book. Anyway, I'll remember later. So the study says that, and 25% of women are, no, I'm in charge. I decide this, I'm pilot, you are co-pilot, you just go for it. And if you look at the dances, the most beautiful, fascinating dance is something like salsa or tango, and there is this woman man does all the work, but she looks amazing.
That is the yin and yang, though, isn't it, that you're talking about?
They have the polarity that is complementary, not feisty or disappearing. You see, she does the same dance as he does, but backwards, in high heels, with a dress, looking all sexy. So he makes her look good, and so she feels good, and then he feels good because he did good. So if I ask my clients how to decide which one of you wants to date, it's two simple questions. First question is, do you first, like feet, both feet will get there, but do you first want to be cherished for your feelings, or you first want to be respected for your ideas and your thoughts and your leadership? With this way, we kind of can feel, if you want cherishing, it's that yin side. And if you want respect for your thoughts and ideas, is yin. You get both, but one has to be the primer driver.
Yeah. Do you find, though, that, in the present society as it is now, that there is sometimes a battle between those energies
Yes.
within the relationship, and that can cause many problems, can't it, in that way?
The biggest problem that I see is everybody wants everything. They want both. I want to be respected and I want to be cherished. And I see with women not understanding how men think, to give them space. When you ask a man a question and he doesn't answer like this, you ask again, and then you conclude he's ignoring you. And a man have a different way of processing things. And I see with my husband, when he gets home, he kisses me, hello, something, and I count. 1, 2, 3. I count how many seconds it takes him to come back to be able just to say something else.
Mm.
And then after, it takes about 20-ish seconds, and then about 10 to 20 more minutes to completely rewind. But we don't know that. Husband comes from home, hey, kids are crying, do this, do that. And then everybody feels overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I think men also don't realize, do they? They think, say, sometimes that they are in control. But really behind the scenes, the woman is running, the whole thing. I remember going to a marketing course once, and these companies know how to make money, don't they, out of relationships and things. And years ago, we used to buy paint, to paint on the wall. And years ago, they used to sell paint, but the names on the paint were very masculine. Very masculine type names. It says what it, on the can.
Yellow.
Yes, and all that. And then they realized, the marketing company, that in fact it wasn't the men that were choosing the colors. It was the women that were choosing the colors. So in a sense, the women were actually choosing the paint, not the men, even though the men were using the paint to put on the walls, which is their job, if you like, traditionally, isn't it? So there is this dynamic, isn't there, really, that men, I think sometimes they don't realize that actually they're being, not controlled, that's the wrong word, isn't it? But the woman behind the scenes is very much in charge in that way.
That's what my grandma used to say. She always says, if you know how to be with a man, they will want to do everything for you. Just make them believe it's their idea. Like,
we've got to keep this secret, though, haven't we? Just between us here.
Make him believe it's his idea. And you know how, I think it's even in a movie, The Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
European idea of man is the head of the household, but woman is a neck. You cannot move your head unless you move your neck. So let him think he is the master, but you just move the head. And I see how it works. All I need to do is, my husband is not very much like a keen of doing dishes, but my father never did dishes. So whenever my husband does dishes, I feel so happy, so safe. Like the whole pattern is broken. I survived the whole generation of women in my past. So when there is dishes, instead of saying, could you please do the dishes, which sounds polite, I tell him, oh, I love this meal. I'm so full. Oh, I wish kitchen would just be clean itself. I would be so happy if it would make me so wonderful when. And I just show him my feeling, like you have ability to make happiness, wonderfulness, joy, radiance, and then he does. And then I thank him like he survived the Holocaust. You are the best, you are the greatest. And he often tells me, you don't have to thank me that much.
So would you say that things have changed, though, through the years now? And if so, how can we get back to maybe an ideal way of being with each other?
Know yourself. If you are yin or yang, if you want to be yin in a relationship, then talk like a woman, act like a woman, so that your energy of yin allows his yang to take over. because there will always be yin and yang balancing each other, always will be in a certain harmony. There is a night, there is day. In the summertime, day is longer, but night shows up too. In north parts, there is 6 months of day and then 6 months of night, but there is never always day or always night. So for some relationships, they work perfectly in a day to shift. Some relationship need 6 months. But if I know I'm the sunshine of relationship, I'm gonna act like this, talk like this, and pull out the power from knowing of the feminine, which means for my own happiness, for my sweetness, for my satisfaction, asking for help, be vulnerable, be patient, be gentle with my husband, allowing him to take care of me. I sometimes purposely twist the jar just to bring it like open jar. It's already, the vacuum is gone a million years ago. I bring, oh honey, I cannot open. He knows I can. Of course, I'm not helpless, but I want to include him, to remember that he is needed and important. Most women today, why do I need a guy? There is a sperm bank. I make more money. Men are just a trouble. He will drink. He will do this. And most men believe that they didn't have a probably proper role model from a father. So they believe that I should be polite. So they got this extra mushiness. Oh, excuse me, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? They write this long email saying, oh, something like, I know I'm wrong for writing you this, but I just want to let you know that, oh, as funny as I am, it's just putting themselves down and making women feel like now I have to be the mama and take care of him.
Yeah, that's a completely different or not even a relationship, is it really? That does happen though, doesn't it? A lot.
Is not attracted to her child.
Does happen a lot.
Men, yes.
Men marry their mothers.
And if you are a woman who is on the masculine side more and want to be there, a perfect match for you is a man who is on a softer feminine side.
And one thing I was going to ask you, and I suppose most men would actually say this as well, it's because you were alluded to this earlier about communication, and the energy of that. I mean, there's things like the energy in your words that you use and things like that. But, I would say, as I alluded to as well myself, it's very difficult for a man to understand the communication sometimes, isn't it? It's like a foreign language to a man, where a woman would just prefer to talk over a problem, wouldn't they, and go on about that problem, not necessarily looking for a result or an answer to it. They just want to talk about that thing and share, whereas a man is just looking for solutions, isn't he? And he'll say, we can do this, this, and this, and that'll solve that, and then they move on to the next thing. So there is this difference, isn't there, even in our brains in that way.
But if you know that, you are already on the step 1. And then step 2 is how to express that to her. Honey, I can see you are stressed. I want to listen to you, but I'm looking for the problem or I'm looking for the point. Is there a problem? Tell me so I can focus. Is there a point? Tell me so I can focus. If you just want to talk, tell me so I can listen. But we just kind of you guys try to figure us out and you get exhausted because we can talk forever without point and without a problem. So a smart man will position that like, honey, I want to listen to you. I have 10 minutes. If there is a problem, if there is a point, tell me so I can zoom in. If there is not, I listen everything you want to say for 10 minutes. And then she goes, blah, 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 blah. And then you give her bonus. Tell me more. Tell me more.
It is amazing how different we are in that, and in many other ways as well, isn't it? So there are a number of ways then to build what you could call a successful relationship with all the challenges. And are there other important things that maybe some men don't understand in some way?
Some men often don't understand that we test you subconsciously for power and strength. We don't want to do that, but it's in our DNA to make sure that I'm going to survive with him. And then we, so to say, purposely, it's actually subconsciously, emasculate you. Oh, you don't have to do this. No, I can do this by myself. All of this is like, you're not good enough. I have a bigger penis than you, basically, trying to put you down. And if you, not you personally, you men, don't want to be, if you guys don't want to be, if you want to pass the test of power, it's actually easier than you think, because often men take it very personally, and it's not. It's just, I don't feel safe about something. Magic words a man can do. Stop. Pause. Eye contact. Hold the shoulders. I got it, honey. Often when a woman freaks out, she is in that panic mode that is not very consciously aware. It's automatic reflex impulse from DNA cave time. I sometimes say Wilma Flintstone, right? We are playing Flintstones, she's freaking out. And then he comes trying to be kind and gentle, telling her that he loves her. Wilma doesn't care about love. Dinosaurs are coming. She needs to know about safety. And when we are controlling you, when we are putting you down, when we are emasculating you, testing you for your power, in subtle, evil ways, or in a gross kind of obvious ways, what we actually need from you is presence. I got it. Or you are safe with me.
Yeah, and maybe this is why there are so many problems in a way, because society isn't really teaching that, is it?
I have not seen, I didn't have a relationships 101 in school. I wish it would be fun to have that class.
Yeah. And you know, like a social class at school, you know, what the ins and outs. But like I said earlier on, you know, some women may feel that against that, if you like, in some way, which they're fighting against a natural process, aren't they, in a way?
Yeah, and that's okay.
And
this is, sometimes we do that from so much pain and so much hurt and so much abuse, objectification and injustice, that the only way for us, our little soul, to survive is to put this huge wall and just do it the other way, which is also intelligence of a spirit to survive. It's not thriving, but it's surviving.
Yeah, but we're not putting women down here, right? We're not making them less than. We're actually saying that they have a part and a role, aren't we? And a man has that role.
You know how Marilyn Monroe said? She said, "Oh, I love being in a man's world as long as I'm a woman in it."
Yeah.
You know, frankly, Gary, if you look at Emma Young, the wife of Carl Jung, she wrote a book, Anima, Animus. And it talks about the soul of a male and soul of a female. So, female body is softer, gentler, weaker, most often.
In nature, yeah.
Yes. And a female soul is stronger. So female body is yin, but female soul is yang. Male body is yang, but male soul is yin. If you think about how there's so many mothers, single mother of 3, but there's not so many single fathers of 1 or 2. Of course, the social system, the court system, but also men think, I can't handle it. And if you think about older couple, a husband dies, she's kind of grieving for a while, and then she goes to Vegas and travels the world and starts a new organization at the age of 60. If the woman dies, 3 years later, he looks 10 years older if he survives. Most likely, he dies quickly after. Because you guys need us to live. We are the flowers of the universe. And I will never put women down. The universe needs us. But we have enough of masculinity.
Yeah.
So much masculine energy is leading our political system, the way we deal with the planet. It's all about conquering and exploiting and using and making money more of it. And in this world now, we need, many men are more open to being feminine than women are. Women are hiding. Oh, God forbid I show I'm sexy. Like, ooh, yes, please show it, girl. Show it, lighten up the world. And then if men provide a safety for that, and we provide our glow and our beauty, we can transform everything.
Yeah, so we're looking, I mean, the yin and yang symbol has got yin and yang within yin and yang, hasn't it? You see that within the two sides. So
anima, animus.
Yeah, so that's expressing a natural process, isn't it? And so are we fighting against nature here? Is that what we're doing?
Fighting against nature.
In our modern society, you know, we've got a way of doing things now, and with the rate of divorce that's happening now, maybe it's not working. But
do you know that now about 80% of divorces are women are initiators?
Yeah. And does that go back to what you were saying earlier about the man not really being a man?
I don't believe man is not being a man, because I kind of believe that I may get now a lot of emails telling me I hate you, Helena. Okay, I'm ready. Shoot me, everyone, with emails. I believe that because anima animus, woman is actually very powerful, but we don't use that power to bring each other up. And if we would, as a powerful creators, the only species, I mean only between the two, with a womb who can literally birth life, if we would birth a life in our relationships that we want, we would have way better experiences. Yes, I understand patriarchal society. I understand the injustice about the pay and all these things. For me, female shaver costs 300% more than a male shaver. It's not any better. It's just pink.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's so many little things like this. And what do I need to do as a woman to look acceptable? I need to put a moisturizer, corrector. I need to put a foundation. I need to put a powder. I need to put a blush. I need to put shadow mascara. You know how much all that costs? How much time it takes? It's not just. But a smart woman, she knows, okay, the world functions this way. How do I make the best out of it? For the benefit of all, including myself first.
This is why I could never understand why men wanted to be women, because of the sheer time it takes in your life to get ready.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was also going to kind of go into the area of course, a natural thing for a woman to do is to have children, and we seem to be in a battleground there as well, don't we? And you know, the women want to work now, don't they? They want to be bringing in their own money and be independent and all of that. And I had a discussion on the internet about this with many people, and it brought up some very strong views about, you know, the woman being independent, and is that really an unnatural? Has it become an unnatural process now that, in fact, the woman's gone too far? And what's happening is that looking after children has become undervalued in a way. You know, the job of a woman to look after.
Has it become undervalued by women or by men? Has it become undervalued by a society who wants you to produce? I am from Europe. my mom we go to school from 8 in the morning until 1. We have entire day to play. We ate cooked home every day. Everything was kind of family. But in America, you're lucky if you have 2 weeks of paid vacation. So if you look at, without woman and man, if you look at the structure, how we are exploiting the species, how we are exploiting the earth, you cannot, for a regular, let's say minimum wage jobs or a medium wage jobs, 30, 50, 60 years ago, one person could work and provide for a house and children. Today you cannot. So from one side it's needed because the system has set up that way. But from the other side, there are too many examples of women who have a family, 4, whatever, 5 family members, and then husband leaves for a younger secretary. And then what do? I have 3 children now. They're all under 10 or whatever. What do I do now? So women have learned that protection. I have to protect myself. And of course, there are only few, less than 1/4 of population is really thrilled by just being in the house, cleaning the house and cooking and watching other children all day long. Because on a soul level, we all have so much in us. We are creative spirit, we are artists, we have abilities to do amazing things. There's so many women who can do numbers better than any man. We want to express ourselves. We live in a society now that is more than ever open to our creativity. You can be a 13-year-old girl and create an app and become a millionaire by accident. You could not do that in 1803 or 1903, right? So the time has come that all these possibilities are like before you go to the store, you have green and white shirt, black and gray this, and now you have variety. So desires of us to play with our possibility have nothing to do, in my opinion, against each other. It's always hungry for self-expression.
Would you say, I mean, there's a debate, isn't there, about, whether men are capable of producing the necessary skills, when you're bringing children up, the nurturing skills in particular?
Actually, nurturing is masculine. Nurturing means protect, provide, take care of, right? That's nurture. And that's the masculine quality. That's why when they say mama bear, she's nurturing and protecting you, dad. That's the biggest masculinity in her. And I believe men are capable as much as we are. We are infinite, powerful beings. And I actually have a client who is brain surgeon. I mean, that woman is smart. Wow. She's literally a doctor, brain surgeon. And when we talk, she wants to have a family. She wants to have a man who can provide so she can be with children. I achieved all of this. It's fine. Now I want to go in my heart.
Because there is something special, isn't there, about bringing, I mean, I spent a year looking after my child when he was a baby. So I could appreciate what women go through in that respect, and also saw the other side of that, where a woman would maybe lock herself away with a child and not really enjoy life, if you like. It would be a burden to them, which I could never understand. There's always an opportunity, isn't there, with a child to learn, to go with them and learn and go outside and see nature and through their eyes see it for the first time sometimes, and all of those things. So I could never really understand that. But
I appreciate you, Gary. I appreciate you for spending a year just looking after a child.
It was a necessity, to have
but
to do
that. Was also a lot of inner work, right? Tell us, what did you go through during that time?
Oh, you learn, well, we were talking earlier about the practicalities, weren't we, of things. because men are very direct and solution orientated, you tended to get things done very quickly, and there was no messing around with things. Even like practical in the sense of during the summertime, rather than if it's nice and warm and everything, rather than have food indoors, you would have the child outside with you in the garden, and they would be in their high chair and have the food there, because if they made a mess, it didn't matter, did it? You see. Whereas I've seen women go through all kinds of nightmares because the child's throwing the food around the room and it's all everywhere and all that. And I could never, if you've got the sunshine, take advantage. Go out, do that, and push them places. And with my youngest son, when I was with him as a baby, we used to count the steps as we went to places, and as we went along, we would count the door numbers. Yeah, as we're going, just I didn't know whether he was learning anything from that, but just doing those things. And he was reading before he went to school.
Wow.
Whereas my second child, I didn't have time to be with him in that way, and that showed in his intellectual abilities.
Wow.
So like you're saying, nurturing, that is like a form of nurturing, isn't it?
Yes, you were protecting him, you were taking care of him, you were providing a healthy environment. Amazing.
So what do you do personally to help others, in the work that you do, to get them beyond all of these challenges that we're talking about?
Yeah. So I specialized, of course, in organic love, which is more than just a relationship. We go deeper into energetic places, but I help women with dating and relationships. So if they're in a stage of dating, I just want to find a guy. They think that the guy is reward, but I show them that there is more in them. So we clean, using EFT and other things, we clean the past that was causing any kind of newfound beliefs or any trauma that happened. And then we position her to the higher energetic place so that there is no need to attract next man or next relationships that were reflecting something from the past. And it's really amazing to see them look back how they are overcoming everything from their parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles and everybody. Like they feel like, oh, I love being a woman. That place. And I also work with married women and with couples as well. And with them is often a question of, especially the longer they've been married, if they have children and they are just busy, they forgot to take care of relationship with each other. And then it starts just being like, well, what do you know? That kind of like diminishing. Then we bring a layer of respect. We bring appreciation. We bring thankfulness that was gone. And I had a client, she and I basically fought for 2 sessions. Why should I thank my husband? He should do that. He doesn't thank me. Because, honey, you have so much power. Use it and see what happens. I don't care what happens. I know what will happen. Nothing will happen. And then seeing a woman slowly in that locked little dark place, instead of on her graciousness, then things happen. Because she invites the best of her husband. She invites the grace. She invites sweetness. She is real with her tears.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client who said, "Oh, I only cry when I want to manipulate my husband to give me something." You cry on command? Oh yeah, I can start right now. I'm really good at it.
But we all do these things, don't we, from time to time, and to a greater or lesser extent, don't we? And it's I've witnessed from my parents' perspective, the kind of, I know they're not watching this, so I can say this, but that some of the worst traits that you could have in that respect. And it's what I call, it's like a points scoring system. you know, that they want to score more points than their partner, and it's almost like a form of abuse, isn't it, really, in that respect?
My husband and I, we have a emotional bank account. So he knows that I don't know how he knows that. He figured out that it's his job to keep me full. His job is to keep me being emotional love millionaire. And he already understands when he does certain things that my attraction and everything to him just drops. And he would sometimes look at me, he said, I just lost 50 points. I said, you lost 100. Okay, I need to build it up from the beginning. Okay. And then that doesn't give us space to secretly behind the back blame each other. And when something, also we have a thing of, let's do this again. So I ask him for something, or he asked me for something, or we communicate and the conversation just goes downhill. For example, one day we were walking a dog. We were about to go walk a dog. And I'm like, it's a beautiful sunny day and I'm always in slippers. I'm going to look pretty. So I put this beautiful white and gold dress and a high heels, like really high golden high heels with a golden chain in the back, like really nice kind of shoes. And I come out and he said, you're going to walk dog like that? He said, let's do this again. Otherwise, my answer would be like, look, you don't even see how beautiful your wife is, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this again. So I leave in the bedroom, take a breath, tap a little, come back out. I said, okay, I'm ready. And he said, wow, 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 whoa, my wife looks so hot, blah, blah, blah. And then we went. So the little, if we are willing to have a delicious, organic relationship, you have to take care of it a little bit differently. Your garden requires watering and taking care of, pruning and whatever you need, more than if you just drive by Burger King. It's a different result, more endeavor, but more nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are willing to do that, right, you play the let's do this again game. You realize, okay, it's my job to keep 100 love points in the bank. I'm going to do that. And I understand she's a woman. She can take all the points in a second. He told me one time, oh, you are like a bank of grease, like a Greek bank. You just take all of away. I said, yes, it's true. So
but
you to play that and have a more playfulness.
Like you're saying, though, you have got this bank account, and maybe we can all take a loan from that bank at some point from yourself. And how would we do that if we want to learn more about how you can help us?
Yes.
How would they do that?
Okay, so you can go to helenasummer.com. helenasummer.com. And the first thing that you get on the website is a video series. Get out of your love funk. We talk in these videos on yin and yang. It's a quiz, which polarity you are, so you can see. We talk about how to flirt, to bring that youthful, playful aliveness to a relationship. We talk about how not to turn men off. The secret little things, that mistakes we do to just kill our relationship. And in the final video, it's really powerful. All these communication tools. People pay me to teach them this one-on-one. It's communication tools, from how to express yourself, how to ask for what you want, what not to say, what to say to bring out the best of each other. It's not manipulating the partner. It's manipulating your own old beliefs to a better, higher level of consciousness.
Yeah, and I suppose it's like if I was to go to Russia or somewhere like that, I would need to speak the language, wouldn't I?
That's right.
Otherwise, we're not going to get very far, are we, in that respect? Mm-hmm. So, well, that's been very, very interesting, Helena, and I've learned a lot, and I know, mostly that you're talking to the ladies here, aren't you? But I'm sure they're going to get some benefit out of that, which means that the men will as well, won't they?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We
So
are
thank
in
you.
this together.
Sorry, say again.
We are in this together.
Yes, yeah. And the better the relationships in the world, the better the world becomes, I suppose, in that way. So let's look forward to a really good future.
Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. And thanks for spending the time today with us here, yeah?
Yes, my pleasure.
All right. And I'll hand back to Mike.